And especially with a site, as you mentioned, like you saw it in Decay, it was ambitious, is I think the light word for it. 80% of our roofs were damaged, if not missing. There's no water, no sewage. There wasn't enough electrical service down here. The middle egress of the property was literally a four-wheeler path. You had kind of had to machete your way into a lot of structures. I would describe it as Walking Dead meets Chernobyl, and I don't mean that inherently as a compliment.
Right.
But I think it shows you how quickly nature retakes abandoned property. I think it also shows the way our industry shifted. If you look at, there's always ebbs and flows in any industry, but the roller coaster that's been, Kentucky bourbon and American whiskey, you know, we see these kind of really high peaks and these really low valleys. And when the site was abandoned in the 70s was definitely a low valley that took us really 2 to 3 decades to fully get out of. You saw a lot of corporate consolidation. You saw a lot of these monolith mega distilleries just shuttered. We were of the national distilleries that had temporary shutdowns in the 70s, including Old Crow and OGD. We were permanent. Where we were sold when Beam acquired the brands, they didn't have an interest in the site. And I get it, right? I mean, I think that's the hard part that makes me really conceive of like historic preservation is it doesn't make financial sense. Like it's a weird thing when you look at, capitalism, right? It's like our goal is to make money and to do so efficiently. And it's really hard to justify historic preservation if you look at the pure financials of a program. You have to like, how do you put a price tag on history? How do you put a price tag on a soul of a place or like the energy of a place? And to have a founding partner, and an ownership team that was supportive of it not always being the best financial decision, but it being the best decision for Kentucky's history and Kentucky bourbon history. I think we just got really lucky in Will buying the site, frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I think luck has a little bit to do with it. But you mentioned that earlier. You have to have a love for it, because you're trying to create inside the bones of a industrial revolution era space, a modern distilling facility, while honoring the story of the past, right? And I think you nailed it on the head when you see the soul of a place. And if you look at architecture from the 70s, 80s, 90s, it's almost soulless at this point, and it sounds a little insulting, but it is, right? That's it.